हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू रिजर्विंग इंडिया आईएएस इंस्टीट्यूट चंडीगढ़। मेरा नाम इंद्रजीत। आज हम लोग बात करेंगे एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट करंट अफेयर अपडेट के बारे में। देखो, न्यू ब्लड टेस्ट डिटेक्ट्स अल्जाइमर विद 90% एक्यूरेसी। अल्जाइमर एक बहुत घातक बीमारी है, ठीक है। इसमें क्या होता है, इंसान का दिमाग लगभग खत्म होने लग जाता है। खत्म होना कहना सही नहीं होगा, पर दिमाग की याददाश्त खत्म होने लग जाती है, इंसान भूलने लग जाता है, ठीक है। पर अल्जाइमर बहुत लेट डिटेक्ट हो पाता है। अल्जाइमर के लिए अब एक ऐसा टेस्ट डेवलप किया गया है बाय सम रिसर्चर्स इन यूनिवर्सिटी इन स्वीडन दैट विल हैव द एक्यूरेसी ऑफ 90% व्हिच इज वेरी हाई। नेक्स्ट देखो, research at university in Sweden have developed an exciting new blood test, ठीक है, which is called Precivity AD2. Precivity AD2 is a test which can detect Alzheimer's disease with an accuracy up to 90%. Just look at the accuracy. 90% is a very high accuracy rate, right? This breakthrough, ठीक है, it will allow for early diagnosis and it's especially useful for people with a mild cognitive impairment. Cognitive impairment, what do we mean by this? Cognitive impairment, when there is impairment in your cognitive abilities of the brain, right? This results were published in the peer-reviewed journal JAMA. The most important thing about this, that it gives a high accuracy and it will be useful for the early detection of the Alzheimer's, right? Alzheimer is highly fatal. Importance of early detection. Alzheimer's disease, a common form of dementia. Please remember this. इसे dementia pronounce नहीं कर लेना है. It is dementia. It affects many people around the world. Every 1 in 5 women and 1 in 10 men being diagnosed with this. Early detection is crucial because it helps prevent misdiagnosis, which occur in about 25 to 35% of the cases. Misdiagnosis is a very serious issue, right? Even with the specialist, a reliable blood test simplifies this process, making it easier to diagnose the Alzheimer correctly. Misdiagnosis, I again repeat, it's a highly dangerous thing, right? It should not happen. Next, देखो, advantages of a blood test. The most easy thing, it is really very easy to have a blood test, right? Have a blood sample and test it. So, traditionally, diagnosing Alzheimer has involved expensive and complex procedures like PET scans for amyloid and tau proteins or lumbar punctures or to analyze cerebrospinal fluid. Now think of this, analyze cerebrospinal fluid. That fluid has to be taken out from the cerebral part of your brain. But this new blood test offers a simpler alternative requiring only a blood sample to get the results. Isn't this is easy? Isn't this is interesting? That in spite of having all those things, instead of having all those these tests, these cerebrospinal fluid tests, now you will simply have a blood sample and you will get it done. I think that's highly easy, right? Now let's move to the next part. How the test works. This is the interesting part. This is what you need to understand. But remember, you don't need to remember this. You don't need to learn this. You just need to understand it for your comprehensive understanding. That's it. The test measures a specific protein in the blood that are linked to Alzheimer's disease. It looks at the ratio of phosphated tau 217 and to non-phosphorylated tau 212 forms to amyloid beta, AB42 and AB40. These proteins are the key indicators of Alzheimer's pathology and help test accurately identify the disease. Remember, it has a 90% accuracy. Even this test does not have a 100% accuracy, but still having an easy way out rather than those so many kind of tests, so many kind of scans and all that stuff. Having a 90% accuracy blood test is way easier and way cheaper, right? The cheaper thing is very important. हमारे देश में सभी इस चीज को अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो it is very easy and cheaper, hence it is very viable option. Next देखो, clinical validation. In a study with 1213 patients undergoing cognitive evaluation, about half showed the signs of Alzheimer's. The new blood test proved to be more accurate than the traditional methods, with 91% accuracy compared to 73% for dementia specialists and 61% for the primary care doctors. As most studies are conducted, this blood test could revolutionize how Alzheimer is diagnosed and treated. It is expected to make diagnosis more affordable. The most important thing is affordability of the test. Think of this, those scans, those cerebral fluid tests. Cerebral fluid test is not an easy test to do, conduct or even perform, right? So ऐसे में आपके लिए जो blood test है, they are a cheaper option. They are highly accessible, highly affordable, right? Next. Though availability might be vary to region, such as in countries where advanced diagnostic tools are not as common. Now move to the next part. more about Alzheimer's disease. What is Alzheimer's? सरल शब्दों में याददाश्त कमजोर हो जाना या इंसान धीरे धीरे ऐसी बीमारी हो जाती है कि चीजें भूलने लगता है. Alzheimer's disease was first identified in 1906 and affects around 50 million people worldwide. It is the most common type of dementia, making 60 to 80% of the cases. Unlike what many believe, Alzheimer is not a normal part of aging. It poses high risk factors including genetics, head injuries, and cardiovascular diseases. Cardiovascular diseases क्या होते हैं? Heart से जुड़े diseases. These diseases is characterized by high levels of beta amyloid plaque and tau tangles in the brain. While there is no cure, early diagnosis and lifestyle changes can help manage the symptoms. Alzheimer is highly fatal. Fatal नहीं कहना सही होगा, but still it's a very dangerous disease because people will start forgetting about everything, having dinner, even the people they love. So it is very bad disease, I would say, right? But this blood test will help us to early diagnose those disease, early diagnose the Alzheimer's, which is also a kind of dementia. That's it, simple definition तो यही होगी. बाकी आई होप ये टॉपिक आपको यहाँ तक समझ आ गया होगा. हम मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक अपना ख्याल रखें.